Time for the afternoon boxing talks. In the afternoon, oh my God, I just came back from the gym. I tried to take a nap. I couldn't. Ended up watching reels. Tried to take a nap. So, you know. Just thinking about the Sebastian Fundora kid and how his career doesn't really have a trajectory. Because, like, if undisputed is not the goal, then what is, He keeps saying that he's willing to fight, all these guys at junior middle, but he's actually not fighting them. He's just feasting on guys that are spent when you think about it. If you give up your title to Xander Zayas, an unbeaten up and comer, if you give up your title to him so you can go have a rematch with Tim, who you fought already and who you beat already, then what? You keep busy with Cordell Booker. What? So you could then segue from that to Keith Thurman because of how relevant he is to the junior middleweight division. What it do? Stop motion. What it do? I don't know what his trajectory is. He said he doesn't care about undisputed. He said that, yeah, I'll fight those guys for their belts, but I don't really want undisputed because the politics. Because it's like I don't know what. These are not money fights that he's fighting in, so he can't even say that he's doing the same thing as, say, Chris Eubank Jr. You can't really say you're doing what he's doing because Chris Eubank is at least motivated by money, and that much you can see that no, he knows that he's not going to be no pound for pound anything multi-weight. Chris knows, right? But he is motivated by money, whereas you can't even really say that about Sebastian. What it do, killer? You can't say that about Sebastian because these are not money fights that he's fighting in. That could be because, well, the money fights in your division are also the dangerous ones. So you have a very unique problem. Some guys have the fortune of being able to section off, oh, I'm going to go make money versus I'm going to fight for legacy. Whereas, at junior middle, no, if you want money, you kind of have to fight for legacy if you want money. So these are not money fights that he's fighting in. Fundora is just going to keep cherry picking until retirement. It really looks that way. It looks like a career that doesn't have a trajectory. It's not going in any particular direction. It's not about undisputed, but it clearly isn't about money either. It's just not about anything, which is a shame because he's actually one of the more entertaining fighters in the sport. I've seldom ever seen a boring Sebastian Fundora fight. His fights are usually pretty entertaining, usually. But, there's a reason for that. If the only way for you to look the way that you have is to feast on the Thurmans and the Lubin, the Thurmans and the Lubins and the Bookers, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe you'll have a trilogy with Tim Tszyu. Timmy's fighting this weekend against Dennis Nerja. This is going to be his second fight with Pedro Diaz. Dennis Nerja is pretty much the same kind of guy that he fought in his last fight. Unbeaten guy who hasn't beaten anyone worth remembering. Unbeaten guy who has a sizable number of fights against rank amateurs and absolute nobodies. So I am expecting a Tim Tszyu win. I believe that's going to be happening here on Saturday night, but Sunday in Australia. I believe it's Sunday afternoon in Australia, but because of the time difference, it will be happening here Saturday night. And that's a free fight. They're going to give that one away free on Amazon. The winner of Zayas versus Bout should pick up the IBF title, defend it, move up to freeze the W. Yeah, you could. You could. With that's a great question. Yo soy yo. It's very hard to know what AJ is going to give us in what remains of his career because he's moved through so many trainers, and it's a good and bad thing. You could interpret it as a good and bad thing. In a good way, it shows that he still cares, that he still aspires to do things in the sport and that he's still willing to learn. So he's still hungry in spite of the setbacks. That's what that shows. But the downside of that is it's starting to look like you're looking for something in a trainer or a training team that you're not going to find. You know, you done been through McCracken and Robert Garcia, and I believe the other guy's name was Javier Gonzalez. I believe the guy's name was. Then Derek James, then Ben Davison. I thought the Ben Davison partnership was going to last. I thought that was going to last. It didn't. It didn't last long at all. And now he's with Usyk's team. And it's like, how do we know this isn't going to go the way that those things went? How do we know that you're not going to bounce to somebody else after that? You've been through quite a few trainers. Nothing wrong with that because people do it. But look at Crawford and Bomac. Look at Inoue and Shingo. Look at Loma and Papachenko. A lot of the time, it seems that the guys who compete at a very high level, a lot doesn't change in the corner. If you look at Andre Ward, Virgil Hunter, a lot didn't change in that corner. Now, it could be because they never suffered a setback. It could be because, well, there was never any need to change anything. So, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it just seems like the guys that really get to the upper, a lot doesn't really change in their corner. Not really. AJ gonna fight Fury, retire, nothing more he can do. Well, you know, Usyk is talking about another undisputed run. That's what he's talking about, which is intriguing. That is intriguing. AJ's not old for a heavyweight. He's not old, even though he suffered a few setbacks. So did Vladimir Klitschko, and he had one of the longer reigns the sport has ever seen. Remember, he lost to Corey Sanders, Lamont Brewster, Ross Purity. Yeah, you know, and he still had a long run that lasted into close to his 40s. So, do I believe that AJ stands a legitimate chance of becoming an undisputed champion in this era? Listen, it won't be easy. You may have to go through a Geet Caballel. You may have to go through Fabio Wardley. You may have to go through the winner of Richard Torrez versus Frankie Sanchez. It's a lot of good fighters in the heavyweight division. You know, it's a lot of good fighters. I would argue that it may have been easier before than it is now because now you're starting from scratch. You have no belt. And there are guys in line to become champions, right? But those are not pushovers, those guys. They're not pushovers. Usyk is going to go out like his countryman, Vladimir. He is staying around too long. Yeah, I agree with that stop motion. I agree with that. There's no reason for that man to still be fighting. There's nothing left to do. There's no reason to you know, you could do the circus thing with Rico, but I really think, like, what else is there for you to do? What, you're going to go through mandatories? You know, what else is there for you to do? Go out on top, bro. Go out on top. So few fighters get to do that. Go out on top. You know, if you imagine that Daniel beats, let's just say Daniel Dubois beats Fabio Wardley, and he becomes WBO champion. That's a guy that AJ could go after for his BO title to become a 3-time heavyweight world champion, and that would start the process. That would start it for you to get 4 belts. But it's a long process because they're all divided now. It's not like one guy. There are no unified champions. You know, like you're imagining a world where Usyk must have retired already because he has 3 of the 4 belts. So if you start talking about undisputed, well, at this moment, the only belt around for you to fight for that he doesn't have is the one that Fabio has. So you would have to go through him. Now, how confident are you guys that he could beat Fabio? And I'm an AJ fan, you know. I'm not a hater, never been a hater. But how confident are you guys out there that AJ don't get clipped by that guy? Fabio gets hit a lot. He get hit a lot. I think the bell tolls for him. You can't keep getting into fights like that. Though momentarily, he really does have that one hitter, that punch that turns the fight all the way around. Right? How confident are you guys that AJ can beat Agit Kabayel? He's in line to become the WBC champion. I believe Richard Torrez is going to beat Frankie Sanchez. I believe he's going to beat him. So he would be the man that's in line for the red one, for the red belt. How confident are you guys that AJ would beat Richard Torrez? This is a murderer's row. None of those guys are pushovers. None of those guys. So it's a tall ask for Usyk to say that, he thinks that AJ can become an undisputed champion. Shout out to Slot and Counter. I think because of Wardley's power and heart to believe in himself to change a fight, it's a horrible matchup for AJ. Yeah, like I feel like with Fabio, you got to try to kill that guy quick, man. You really do. You got to try to kill him quick because he's shown more than once that so long as the fight is going on, he can turn it around. So you got to try to kill him quick. And the problem with that is in looking for the knockout, you run the risk of being knocked out. If you shoot out of your corner like a bat out of hell, committing to your punches early to get him out early, there's a caveat. But that's kind of what you got to do with him because, listen, if it's round 8 or round 9, you could be up on the cards. You might have won every round, and he'll hit your ass once, and that's the fight. So once again, how confident are all of you that in this current landscape, AJ can beat those guys? And I'm a fan of that dude, but it's a real question, It's a real question. As you can deduce from some of the predictions that I've already made, you'll know that I'm a big skeptic. I'm not a big believer in miracles. I'm not. A lot of the time, what you think is going to happen is going to happen. Fabio is a very dangerous fight for AJ. Kabayel is a very dangerous fight for AJ. Very dangerous, Anthony's only chance is Murat Gassiev, and Italma is going to, yeah, that's the other thing. And Gassiev, that's another one that, yes, he has slow feet. He's not a big heavyweight. He's not one of the 6'5", 6'6" club. But you better keep him out. You better keep him at the end of the jab, and you better stay moving. Because if you stop moving and you trade with him, he could clip you. He's another one. AJ would have to fight him the way that he fought Andy Ruiz, on the balls of his feet, pumping out that jab, and using the ring. Because if you try to trade with him, it could be the Ruiz fight all over again. Shout out to Bob Saget. Do you think AJ Circa Ruiz Part 2 can fence and fiddle his way to a decision over Fabio? Hard to say, man. Hard to say. It's even if he took a safety first approach, the caveat would be that Fabio's not taking a safety first approach. He's going to try for punches. He's going to get hit. But that makes him dangerous that he's willing to take that punishment because he believes in his power. I just don't know. Like, AJ's been through the ringer, and losing a fight that many of us expected him to win in the Dubois fight, it's just a little bit hard to be confident in what he can do now. It really is. What are you going to, like, I'm not knocking him either. I'm not knocking him. I'm not putting him down, but I'm just saying, what's you guys' confidence level that he will walk away from training with Usyk and all those guys over there, and he's going to pick up something substantial when he's already been through so many trainers? I thought he was going to stay with Ben Davison. Do you guys see Torrez beating Dubois or AJ? That's a distinct possibility. Torrez is an old school pressure guy. He has to be because of his stature. If you compare Torrez to the other heavyweights, Spock, He's comparatively smaller than they are. He's about 6'2", maybe 6'3". He's not a big guy as far as the heavyweights. And he has to be a pressure guy because of that. You don't have the length to be the boxer who sticks and moves from the outside. So his style lends itself to the way that he is built. And from what I've seen of Torrez and his power, I do like it. I think he can win a lot of situations. I think he can win a lot of fights in the heavyweight division. I think he can. The fact that Jalalov is choosing to be more of an amateur than a pro, Jalalov is the only guy you figure, yeah, he'll steamroll Richie. He'll steamroll him because he did in the amateurs. But without him around, it's an open book, bro. And Richie might do very well for himself. He might. With Dubois, that's a gunfight because Daniel is an action guy and so is Richie. They're both action guys. I think if Richie can get inside on him, if he can clip him. Yeah, absolutely. Do I think Richard packs a big enough punch to hurt him? Yes, absolutely. The trick is getting inside. And two, Daniel would present as the biggest puncher he would have ever fought, the most experienced fighter that he would have ever fought, a former champion. It's not a foregone conclusion that Richie wins that fight. Most pressure fighters are, bro. Most pressure fighters, you say that he's one-dimensional. How many other boxers in the heavyweight division have more than one dimension besides Usyk? Most of those guys are one-dimensional, bro. Most of them. Daniel Dubois doesn't change much from one fight to the next. He don't. You know, Fabio, he doesn't change much from one fight to the next. A lot of those guys are one-dimensional. I mean, you know, anything is possible because it's so early with him that we don't really know how far he's going to go. I can see him winning a belt. I can see him winning a belt. Where I think Richard has an opportunity is against those fighters that are taller and longer than he is. Not so much the guys like Gassiev and Caballel that are kind of eye level, but the taller guys, because if he can get inside on them, he'll have the advantage in the pocket to throw those hooks, those body shots, those uppercuts, so long as he can get inside on them. And he's shown that he's got good feet, that he could get to you and he can consistently stay with you and keep the pressure on. It's against the taller fighters that I think he could do fairly well because the taller guys get flustered by someone being in their chest. You know, they get flustered by that. They need at least enough room to get the arm out. The way that Richard fights, he's not going to give you that. So you have to fight for that. And I think against the taller heavyweights, he could do fairly well. If and when Jai goes to heavyweight, how do you think he makes it? It's a murderer's row up there. It's not going to be easy. What Jai Opataya will have working for him is snap. He's got snap. You know, because he's a cruiserweight, he'll be a little bit faster than they are, but he will be a little less durable, and he will punch a little less hard. So he'll have a speed advantage, a range of motion advantage, an agility advantage, right? He'll be quick, he can move, but if you can't knock out a Glanton, it's a little hard to imagine you're going to be up there knocking out heavyweights, you know? Could take time for you to settle into that division before you have the power to land with that kind of authority. Bob Saget said Richard versus Caballel could be a fight of the year. I agree with that. Now, Caballel succeeds because of what I think, what I just said about Richie. Agit Caballel is not a very big, very tall or long heavyweight. He's not a tall, long guy. He's kind of portly, about 6'3", 6'4", goes to the body, has combinations on the inside. That's how he beat Zhang. That's how he beat Makhmudov, is because he got in those guys' chest. That's why I think Richie could do well for that same reason. It's not a lot of heavyweights that are that quick with their combinations, with their feet, right? Richie, he has that. We don't know how durable he is, and it's very hard to make the case for anybody being durable in that division because it only takes one punch. You know, it really only takes one. You think Jai could beat Torrez? I don't know. I think we need to see more from Torrez, but I'm not settled on what Richie is or isn't. He shows promise, and he's on, you know, he's on schedule. Like, he's not too late for anything. You know what I mean? It's about the time for you to be fighting a Frankie Sanchez. It's about that time, and you know that's what he's going into. But we don't know what he is yet. We don't. What is good is, look, he beat Guido Vianello. That's a solid guy, Guido. That's a solid guy. Very big guy, can move, can punch, and Torrez beat him. He beat him. He dominated him. So that's good sign that he was able to do that. Jai versus FA for the Zuffa heavyweight title. Fuck around. Riakporhe versus. Oh, I got Tira Moana, bro. Yeah, I got Tira Moana. Richard is a fucking robot, bro. The way he looked in that the rematch with CBS, he looked like a fucking robot. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, all fucking day for 36 fucking minutes. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Like, yo, do you know how to throw anything else? Why don't you throw 2 1s and then bring over the 2? Or what if you throw 2 1s and you don't bring over the 2, you feint the 2 and bring over the 1 again? Or what if you throw 2 1s, feint the 2, and throw a left hook? No creativity, just 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and 1-2. Look like a fucking robot. Vianello could punch. Fuck is you talking about? Vianello could punch. Yeah, she sucked the boxing skills out that motherfucker. That old pussy, that succubus. Shit drained his car battery. Now you got to go to fucking Mako. You got to go to AutoZone. She drank his car battery. If it's Tira Moana versus Richard Riakporhe tomorrow, for example, how confident I am of Tira Moana in that situation, I would pick Tira Moana. Trying to tell you, Dojo, fucking Richard Riakporhe fought like a fucking robot. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. You know you could throw more than 1-1. You could throw 3 1s. Throw 3 1s, right? Maybe they don't land. You throw 3 1s. Feint the right. Feint the right. Throw another 1. Jab, 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 feint, jab. Jab, 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 feint, left hook. Jab, 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 right hand. Maybe you throw that combination 2 times and then psych him out on the third. Jab, 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 feint, jab. And then because he got used to it, jab, 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 bing, right hand. You got to get creative. Madonna stole his life essence like Bette Midler was doing to them kids in Hocus Pocus. Yeah, bro. Bitches are succubus, bro. Can't be fucking these old slides. Can't be fucking if you gonna make that move, bro, just don't box no more. Cause these old slides will take your soul. And that's what they used to call the authorities back in the day. Used to call them slides. Night Vale, what it do? Okolie about to knock out Yoka in front of. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Lawrence could punch, man. He might have been like an octopus at cruiserweight. He's an octopus. But at Bridger and heavy, he showed he could punch because he really a fat boy. He a fat boy. He, you know, like y'all know his story that he was an overweight kid. He used boxing to lose weight. And now that he's not depleted and he's got meat on his bones, right? He doesn't hold his feet as much as he used to, and he doesn't hold as much as he used to. The two things kind of go together. If you feel slow and sluggish and lethargic, you're not as bouncy. And because you're not as bouncy, guys get inside, you got to tie him up. But now that he eating, you can see that he eating. You can see that. You see what he did to Tete. Ebenezer Tete. It's not the same as Zola and Tete, but it's pretty close. You see what he did to Tete. Now he about to knock out Yoka. Yoka got skills, but he don't got no motherfucking chin. Yo, Yoka lost to fucking Riakporhe, didn't he? Didn't he lose to Riyad? Who was it that beat him? Was it Riakporhe and Carlos Takam? I think he got like 3 fights now. Let me go look. I think he got like 3 fights now that happened like on the club circuit. Got like 3 fights. Tony Yoka. Let me go look. Yeah, he got look. He's on a 4-fight winning streak as of August of last year, fellas. He knocked out Amin Buchetta, Lamar Griggs. He decisioned Arslan Yaliev, and he knocked out Patrick Corte in December of last year on a 4-fight winning streak. He dropped Virgil Hunter, which I think, that might be it. He was with Virgil Hunter for a long time, and you could see that Virgil was trying to like mold him into like a heavyweight Andre Ward. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Well, it didn't work. It's not that it's not gonna, it didn't work. And he's with Don Charles now. I believe that Don Charles is the one who got him on a 4-fight winning streak. And very quietly, on very small shows, he managed to get him 4 wins. So, they're building his confidence because he already got 3 losses. They're building his confidence. Okolie built like Dr. Robotnik, but he is. He really is built like Dr. Robotnik. Like high key, he is. That motherfucker looked like that motherfucker. He most of the weight on Lawrence is in the trunk because he don't got big legs. Most of the weight on him is in the trunk. Yoka good when he's beating up French soccer wash. Okolie don't have to touch. Okolie don't have the technique to beat Yoka. Yoka can do what Billum Smith did. Yoka got you bugging, Social. You think Tony Yoka gonna win that fight for real? I got Florence, bro. I got Florence, Okolie, Tony, and his Yoka. I got Florence. Every time they tried to step up Tony, he got beat. MW, what it do? I thought Virgil made Buatsi. That's another one. Yo, why you think? Listen, motherfuckers ain't trying to be fucked up. But I'm saying, Virgil had Tony Yoka. Virgil had Joshua Buatsi. Know what I mean? That's 2 guys that, y'all didn't do what people thought y'all was going to do. Y'all did not turn out how people thought y'all was going to be. And what y'all got in common? Virgil Hunter. Joshua Buatsi probably would have been better off with Jonathan Banks because Joshua's a jabber. He's a boxer. And for a boxer, okay, go with Jonathan Banks or, your best punches are straight. You're not trying to trade punches on the inside. You're not a pressure guy. You don't got the work rate to be that guy. You don't got the engine or the work rate to be that guy. But if what you want to do is jab and keep it long range, go to Jonathan Banks. Jonathan Banks or maybe Buddy McGirt. Go to Jonathan Banks or Buddy McGirt. That's who I would have recommended for Joshua Buatsi. Go to those guys. Adam Booth would have been good for Buatsi. A lot of motherfuckers would have been good for Buatsi. McGuigan would have been good for Buatsi. Tony Sims. Maybe I'm being biased because Okolie fights are horrible watches. The way he fights annoys me. Same way that Haney does for you. All the fun and jeopardy is lost. That was him as a cruiserweight, though, in fairness. If you saw him at Bridger, not too shabby. And if you've seen his heavyweight fights, they've all ended early and in knockouts. All of Lawrence's, he's got like 2, 3 heavyweight fights. All them shits ended in knockouts. I don't know, Jules. The Frenchman who knocked out Munguia could have inspired his. Yo, maybe, right? Maybe if Bruno's ringside and he gives Tony a Senzu bean. I don't got that kind of faith in Tony Yoka. Y'all better than me. I don't got that kind of faith. He fought four rickshaw drivers. You know? That don't tell me you could beat Lawrence. Lawrence would be the best guy that you fought so far. That would be the best guy that he fought. But we'll see. That one's free. That one's free on the zone. You don't got to pay nothing extra for that one. I think that's what in the summer. Tony Yoka I think David Adilier fighting on that card too. Tony Yamcha against Hutchinson and Smith. He kept squaring up, breaking his frame. He never did that before. That's that Virgil Hunter, bro. That dude regrets. Out of the amateurs and into the pros, they had high hopes for Joshua Buatsi. They had high hopes for him. Still can't believe Munguia got knocked out by a guy whose hands is made out of croissants. Shit be like that, yo. Get knocked out by a French fighter is almost as bad as getting beat by a jiu-jitsu. Right? Josecito, coloca mi niño. Right? But I got Lawrence winning that fight, bro. I think Florence gonna win that fight. Okolie was your best, but Okolie whooped him bad. Yeah. People tend to forget that was Martin Bacolli's coming out party was that Tony Yoka fight. He beat the fuck out of him, bro. Gave him a fatherly ass whooping. Looked like Tony brought home a bad report card. Martin just whooped his ass. Tony Yamcha is crazy. Yo, I might put that in the headline, bro. Tony Yamcha. It's real shit, yo. But you know, that's another highlight reel knockout for Lawrence. It's almost like they don't know what to do with him right now, with Lawrence. Because he debuted as a heavyweight months ago. They got bigger fights they could put him in than Tony Yoka. But you know, go over to France, make a little bit of money, knock that dude out, right? Give him a Senzu bean, bro. Tony Yamcha. We got fights, man. We got a lot of fights this weekend. Price versus Pinheiro on Boxer. Wilder versus Chisora. Fucking Tszyu versus Nurja. Then on Sunday, you got the Zuffa card at night. You got Dubois versus Harper in the afternoon. It's a lot of shit going on. Oh, and Pat Brown. Pat Brown is fighting on the afternoon on Saturday. It's a lot of shit going on. Pat Brown looks halfway decent. Still very early, though. He could be another Johnny Fisher, but he has more amateur pedigree than Johnny Fisher. So that's, you know. If Carolyn Dubois beats Harper, who will she fight next if no Alicia? That's easy. She'll fight Stephanie Hahn. She'll fight Stephanie Hahn. Remember, Stephanie over there with them. Stephanie about to run it back with Holly. Terry about to fight Carolyn. If Carolyn beats Terry, she gets the winner of that fight. Oh, Pat Brown's on Friday? Oh, shit. I might have to go live for that. That's on Friday? I might have to go live for that. I might go live for that. I don't know. I might go live for that. It's a lot of fucking boxing matches this weekend. You have more faith in Carolyn than I do. Nah, she's gonna win, bro. I'm a big fan of Terry. I'm a big fan of Terry because Terry did it the hard way. Terry don't got no amateur background. She came up in the white collar circuit. She did it the hard way. I'm a big fan of her. Only ever got to interview her once. That was when Steffi Bull wasn't in jail. Steffi did most of the talking. But I like Terry. I would love for Terry to win on Sunday. I would love to be wrong about this, but I don't think I will be. I think Carolyn is going to mow her down. I don't really respect Carolyn because she always going for the low-hanging fruit. We already seen that. We already been through it. We all know why. I don't really respect Carolyn, but I do think, yeah, she's probably going to mow her down, in all honesty. She's probably going to knock her out. If she doesn't knock her out, that's not a good look because you talk more shit than a little bit. You talk shit about Alicia. You talk shit about Terry. If you don't knock her out, you better knock her out because you talking wild shit. Yeah, that whole card is, I like that whole card, man. My favorite fighter, Ellie Scottney, Gatford. That's going to be a good fight. That Mexican girl going to put a lot of pressure on her. That Mexican girl going to put a lot. If y'all ain't seen Mayeli Flores, you'll find out on Sunday. You'll see. She going to put a lot of pressure on Ellie, man. I love Ellie, though. Never got to interview Ellie, man. Fucking mad about it to this day. Never got to interview Ellie. One of my favorite fighters. I got Ellie on points, but I don't think it's going to be easy. But I do have Ellie winning that fight. It's a question of will Ellie stay there as Super Bantam if she becomes undisputed? Because it won't. One, that's a deep division. So it's not like it ain't going to be fights, but they ain't going to be money fights. It's only one money fight, and I don't really know if she want to do that. That's Sky Nicholson. Sky's at 122. She got the WBC interim. Beatrice is able to come back. Is she able? Yeah. If remember, Bob, Natasha Jonas got knocked out almost the same way by Vivian Obanoff. The same thing, bro. Same thing happened. She got trampled by a very wild fighter. But you see, she was able to come back. Beatrice could come back. She can. She just got to tighten the fuck up. Yeah. Ellie versus I would favor Ellie to win that fight. Ellie is the motherfucking truth. I would favor Ellie to win that fight. Sky's a great looking girl, you know. She's fucking hot, you know, no doubt about it. But I don't think she's a better boxer than Ellie. I don't think that. Ellie will piece her up. Ellie will get her. But it's up to Ellie. The ball is in her court because it's not something that she has to do. If I go undisputed, I don't really got to stay here. I could go to featherweight, you know? Yeah, man. What it do, round one?
What up, man? What up? Yeah, man, there's a lot of boxing this weekend. Isn't that Chisora fight this weekend too?
Yeah, on Saturday, bro. On Saturday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Whew. I'm gonna see Chisora knock out Wilder within 6 rounds, I believe, man.
That's what everybody's saying, bro. That everybody has it that way too. That you know, because I mean, like they know what Chisora going to do. That you know, win or lose, you know what Chisora is going to do. You know what he's going to do. Whereas Wilder, you know, I don't know, bro. What you about to do? We'll see, bro. We'll see.
You better not be doing that spinning shit. Shit, though, like, god damn, man. He really turned away fucking from Zhang and just got cracked, bro. Just got put
Yeah, but
to
that was
sleep.
after he got cracked. The motherfucker hit so hard he spun him around like a top. That's how hard he hit that motherfucker. And you know, the weird thing with that fight is it would probably be better if Wilder won for boxing. It would probably be better just because, okay, Now maybe you could do a Usyk fight. Now maybe you could do an AJ fight. You know what I mean? It might be better if he won, but
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. I mean, if he
he ain't
wins,
gonna win. He ain't
the
gonna win.
Usyk fight would be next. I'm pretty sure if he wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like if he win, you could then you could say, "Oh, I beat Chisora. We got a common opponent," and you know, right? So you could do it, but I don't think he gonna win, bro. I don't think he gonna win. I think he's a day late and a dollar short. I think fighting in the UK is something that he should have done a very long time ago when Dillian White was your mandatory. You should have did it then because you would have made a lot of money. And if you would have been fighting in front of all those people by now, the same way that they respect Usyk, they would have respected you. You see, they respect that dude for going over there and having them fights and, you know, showing his boxing. You thought you was too good for that. So, you know, it ain't really better late than never. Like, nah, at this point, you cannon fodder for them. You cannon fodder. You about to go over there, get knocked out, then start talking about Tyson Fury gloves again.
Oh fuck, bro, for reals, man. I mean, shit, man. This is gonna be bad for him. I feel like, yeah, man. He's gonna. I give him 6 rounds. I give Chisora within 6 rounds because I don't even know if fucking. Oh man, yeah. He Wild. Even his last fight, where we seen him on BLK Prime and stuff with
Right,
that
yeah,
nobody
the
dude. It
Tyrell
just
Herndon
what
dude.
did it show me? It showed me he beat up a dude that wasn't supposed to be in the ring with him. And this is a shot Wilder kind of right,
Yeah, I mean,
he's
no, and
like
when was that fight? Like, was that a year ago? Because it felt like it was a minute ago.
I think so. It was a minute ago. I think so.
Yeah, it's not pointless. Stop motion. If Wilder wins this weekend and you announce that fight for like July, it would still be big. It won't be what it was. No, it's not going to be as big as it could have been, but it would still be big because, you know, they got the same way that Amir Khan and Kell Brook was big, that would be big. It was June. Yo, June. Damn. Yeah, that was a minute ago. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Yo, yo.
Yeah. Damn, bro. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he took a long time to come back too.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, that's crazy. It's crazy. If he wins, he fights AJ. Chisora and AJ. Yeah, Chisora and AJ won't fight. They won't fight. But if Wilder wins, yeah, you could do that. If Wilder wins, I don't think he's gonna win, but you know, just something to explore. I understand what you're saying, but I don't like when big fights happen past their due for no world title. Yeah, but sometimes that's what we gotta settle for. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's how it happened. That's how Brooke and Khan happened.
That's how.
You
That's
know,
how. Hey, that's how Keith and Spence
shit.
gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't even think Spence gonna fight that dude. Spence don't want to give that dude the time of day, bro. He don't want to give him the satisfaction of you know, like you could see that he's. It's still like, is that a decent size fight that you could do in America? Yeah, it actually is. But Spence Petty, he like, nah, I didn't want to fight him. He didn't want to fight me. I mean, like, he ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it. Chad, it's a full weekend, man. I'm gonna go live all weekend. Shit, I ain't gonna do a weekend recap video probably till. Nah, I'll probably do one on Sunday morning and then go live in the afternoon because that MVP card is actually fucking lit. Like, yeah, that's a good looking card. That's a good looking card.
Well, which
Go
one's
live.
that one? The MVP?
Yeah, the MVP shit is gonna be on ESPN, bro.
Oh, that's wait. When's this weekend or no?
Weekend
Next
on
week.
Sunday. No, on Sunday.
Oh shit! This weekend
Yeah,
already.
bro. Yeah,
Oh
bro.
fuck! All right.
It's
Damn.
the
I
whole
thought it was
weekend. Like,
next.
remember, you got Wilder Chisora Saturday afternoon, right? You got that
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon. Después en la noche, you got Tim Tszyu's fight. That's gonna be free on Amazon, right? If you have your Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Then on Sunday afternoon, if you still have ESPN, if you still have it, that's where they're doing the MVP fight.
Ooh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Wait. Is it under the unlimited plan or is it just the regular plan?
No, it's the regular shit, bro. Let me check you out. But I'm pretty sure it's the regular shit. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because
Let me
usually
check
like
you out.
Cause like when I'll be watching like the PFL fights, that's like back on their unlimited shit. Like ever since the WWE went and they made the unlimited shit, they put like certain things behind that shit. But I'm not sure
Let
if
me
that was gonna be even when I'm hearing Top Rank before the DAZN shit, they're going back over there. I'm like, oh, hopefully it's not behind that paywall.
let me see. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see. I gotta cause I haven't even opened ESPN in a minute, bro. In a fucking minute. Let me see.
Yeah,
Live
last
and
time I was
upcoming.
on it was Saturday. Yeah, there's a little PFL card and shit on Saturday too. So I
Yeah,
was on
see,
there.
it's let me see. MVP. Friday 7 a.m. Friday 7 a.m. Yeah, it's on there. It's on there, bro. I don't know if you can
Oh,
see it.
it's okay. So it's regular then. All right.
Yeah, it's regular. It's
All right.
Dubois
All right.
Harper,
Yeah.
Sunday 12 afternoon. Yeah. And then Alicia's fight, Holly's fight. Yeah. Por eso es que that's why I didn't delete it, bro. Yo sabía que mira, with the UFC leaving ESPN, they don't have nothing for their combat sports catalog. So they're gonna get back into boxing. Y ellos no se van a quedarse nada más con eso. They're like, I'm pretty sure Top Rank is gonna ink a new deal. And the new deal is gonna be similar to the one that they just did with the zone. It'll be like that non-committal, right? Non-committal, yeah, it's for a few years, but you have the wiggle room to work with other platforms. And that's if the zone, not for nothing, that's if the zone doesn't offer them a better deal because there's still room for that to happen. The zone, I heard that Top Rank is not going to do their first show on the platform until the summer, right? Pero en ese tiempo, yo, the people at the zone could be like, look, why don't we just give them a bigger budget to keep all their shows here?
Well, they
And so
should. I mean, I
if
mean,
if
that's
you
what Top Rank is. That's what they do. You know.
if you see what just happened with MVP on Sky, right? They announced weeks ago that MVP Sky Sports is going to carry the MVP fights in the UK, and they just upgraded the deal. They just before they've even done one card, they've upgraded the deal.
That's
Now it's the
crazy.
multi.
Yeah, they didn't even touch soil on the fucking event yet. That's crazy.
Exactly. Eso puede pasar. Like the zone might say, listen, Top Rank has a strong stable. They got a lot of fighters. We want all that shit over here. It could happen. But if it doesn't happen, like I've been saying, and yo, good sources, bro. I got good sources. Motherfucker been told me, yo, Top Rank and ESPN is talking. They've been talking. And the talks are good. Talks is good. So you getting a little bit from the zone. You get a little more from ESPN, right? You got money. Good money. At some
Man,
point,
that'd be good. That'd be good. But I'm so hyped to see that fucking MVP card on ESPN. That's just gonna be
yeah.
dope.
That's a good fucking card by me. That's the best card of the weekend. That's the best card that it's got more than one good fight. Like I said, I don't really like Carolyn as a person, but as a boxer, yeah, she got it. She's gonna win that fight. I would love for Terry to prove me wrong, win that fight. I would love for her to do that because I like Terry. But I mean, you got knocked out by Sandy, you got knocked out by Alicia, you drew with
For
Cecilia.
real, yeah, for reals.
It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Um, I don't know if she sticks around after that or if she retires off of that. Terry's not old, Terry's not old. Like she's in her late 20s. She's not old. I don't think she's 30 yet. But she does have, couple of losses already. If she loses this weekend, yo, that's three. Three losses in a draw. And the division, it's like it's fucked up. It's a little bit fucked up because could she beat Stephanie Hahn? Probably. Could she beat Holly Holm? Probably. Yeah, she probably could. But she signed the MVP. Oye esto. She signed the MVP in the summer of last year. And she hasn't fought in over a year. Her last fight
Oh,
was, I think, in February of last year. Last
oh,
fight.
damn, for
She's
reals?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's a
check
long
out, check
time.
out. She didn't she signs the MVP in the summer, but she didn't debut under the banner yet. She has not had a fight since early last year. So, hey, hey, it is what it is. And I like her, but yeah, I think she's gonna get knocked out. I really
Yeah, I
do.
think so too. She coming in a whole year and plus change. Like, yeah, that's it's a little bad. It's a little rusty right there.
Yeah, got
Oof.
that ring rust, bro. She's gonna get knocked out.
Hey, when was that fucking kickboxer dude Rico and
Oh,
fucking
Rico Verhoeven.
yeah, what's him and
I think that shit ain't that shit in May. I think ain't
oh,
that shit in
it's
May.
on May. Okay, because I
I think
forgot
that
where
shit is
when
in
it was.
May. I think that shit is
Okay,
in May. Shout
because
out
I'm
to
like,
Stop Motion. Do you think PBC goes under in the next 5 years, or do they get saved by the zone? Um, listen, maybe I'm the wrong guy to ask because I'm like, what are you picking up? Brandon Figueroa, Sebastian. What could they do it? It's possible. Could they pick them up? Yeah, it's possible. But I don't see a lot for you to pick up. It's not a lot. Well, Gary Russell, Brandon Figueroa, Lara,
Esau
um,
Cruz.
right? Isaac Cruz, fucking Carlos Adames, Caleb Plant.
Hey, they still got the Mexican Cookie Monster, right? They still do.
I mean, so yeah, that's why I say it's possible. And I said this like 2 weeks ago. While Golden Boy, while PBC does not have the best stable, their stable is actually better than Golden Boy's.
Oh
They have
hell
more
yeah, that's
stuff.
for sure. Yeah.
They have more stuff. They do have more than Golden Boy, yeah. And Golden Boy just got a deal. So, right? It's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to do it, but it's like, yeah, it's possible because they do have a deeper stable than Golden Boy. Golden Boy only got Ryan and Virgil ain't about to fight. And Zerto about to lose. Bueno,
Zerto
I don't
about
even
to
know.
lose.
I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know. You know what I mean? Because Zerto, he did start out at top rank. I'm just saying, like, he did start out at top rank. And David is a PBC guy. What usually happens? I mean, like, he's not a top rank guy anymore. You know what I mean? But I'm like, yo, he did start out at top rank, though.
Was
He
getting
did.
fed good over there, and then went to Golden Boy and was getting nothing but like tomato cans.
Well, I mean, his cruiserweight run is kind of impressive. It is. He fought unbeaten Arsene Goulamarian. He fought Chris Billum Smith. He dominated them both. I mean, those are credible scalps at
Well, yeah,
cruiserweight.
you see, that's why it's like a better name like this. Like I can't think of a bigger name under David's fucking resume than Zerto. Like that's
No,
the
Zerto.
biggest name
Zerto would
right
be the
now.
best. Zerto would be the best guy that he ever fought. High key though, bro. He would be the best guy that he ever fought. Zurdo.
And it's like had David hasn't fought a champion in a minute. Like when's the last time he fought a champion? In like
A
2000?
champion, Anthony
Yeah,
Durrell.
Anthony Durrell. Thank you. Who the
Anthony
fuck? Come
Durrell,
on, man.
bro. Yo, man, I know Anthony Durrell, yo. That's the only champion he fought. That's the only dude that when he fought him, he had a belt. Anthony Durrell.
And that was a minute ago. That was at 168.
Bro,
Yeah,
wasn't that before COVID?
I think so. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that was that. Oh wait,
Yo,
was
bro,
it?
that was
I
before
think so.
COVID, bro.
Oh yeah, bro. That was a minute ago. Yeah.
Trying to
Damn.
tell you.
See,
Trying to
he
tell you.
hasn't fought a fucking champion. Someone would have. See, at least this is like a legit dude, Zerto. I mean, even at
Yeah.
175. I mean, at 175, he hasn't fought nobody. I mean, look,
Yeah,
Callum Smith.
is the Zerto fight a good fight, bro? Yes. Look, we could say we have our criticisms and they're valid, but is Zerto a good fight for David? Yeah, it is. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. You ducking? I don't. You ducking? But yeah, it's a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. It's a good fight, and my man Munguia is going to become a super middleweight champion on that card.
Oh yeah, he's in that card. Yeah, see, that's a good fight. Him and Resendez.
He's fighting Reservoir.
Oh,
He's gonna fight. He's fighting Reservation.
Shit,
Right?
that's gonna be a good card now, man. That card, I'm
No,
really
yeah,
looking
it's a
forward
good.
to
It's
that one.
honestly like I'm really looking forward to it. Like it's gonna be way better than La Carteleta of this past weekend. Like, no, it's a good card. It's a good card. I don't know how many other cards the PBC is gonna do. You know,
For
what
real.
other? No, de verdad, like what other cards are they gonna do this year, bro?
What they're gonna hype up the Tank and Pitbull rematch? That's the only one, I think.
A mí, no, pero porque él todavía tiene ese caso. Ese caso todavía está abierto. You know, that he countersued, you know, that news ayer, de que he countersued, that really only pertains to the civil suit. That doesn't speak to the criminal case. They're like, it's a criminal case. State of Florida's trying to prosecute you, you know, and yeah, you could countersue her and you could say, oh, that the criminal case is based on the CCTV footage that the police saw. That's what that's based on. And they said you ran up in there and hemmed that bitch up. And you was on probation when you did it. So, I'm all right.
Ah, that's fucking crazy. Oh yeah, see, they ain't got nothing now. They gotta wait for David to beat Zerto, I guess, and wait for him or something.
Man, I don't know what the fuck else they gonna do for the rest of the year.
I mean,
You know,
really, it's been dry over there for the PBC. What the fuck what's coming up? Tim Tszyu? That's it?
But that's not PBC, bro. De verdad, porque eso no es el dinero de ellos.
Oh,
that's no limit.
That's no limit.
That's no limit promotions in Australia. Promotion. La Carteleta entera is their fighters. That's Australians on that card. Like that's not a like. You could say that via PBC we could see it in America, but that's not a PBC show. That's a no limit promotions show. That's what that is.
Because usually, like, they look like they've been doing is like every pay-per-view they'd be waiting on that, and then they'll announce, like, you know, they don't announce like a couple more shits or show what's next in line and shit like that.
Bueno, es que ponlo tú. Todo el dinero for Brandon Figueroa involves non-PBC fighters. Todo el dinero para Gary Antoine Russell. Misma vaina. Yeah, all the money for you involves fighters that are not on your platform. Rolly Romero, I guess he's not fighting Devin Haney. No, verdad? That was the fight they were working on. I guess not. That fell apart. So I don't really know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do.
I mean, I wouldn't even know how they could. I mean, Devin Haney and Rolly on the PBC pay-per-view.
Bro, that shit would do double. That shit would do double guandule can, bro.
And I feel like it'd be like just what we saw with Keith Thurman, like a card like that.
Yeah, you know Angel Fierro's gonna be on the undercard 3 times, bro. Right? You know the PBC special, bro. Side of Angel Fierro with Abel Ramos, bro. They're gonna be somewhere in there, bro. Ahí. That's the PBC special. Oh, and Elijah Garcia. He's the PBC special, bro.
Oh my god. It's fucking horrible, man. I don't know how they keep
he lost again, bro. He lost again, bro. That's the dude that beat Resendez. Elijah Garcia.
Damn.
That's the dude that beat Resendez. Ese tipo no sirve, man. No sirve. It's crazy that he beat Resendez and now Resendez is doing better than him. Resendez is a champion, you know?
Oh, yeah, for real. Resendez, he's the guy right now.
Fucking Reservoir, bro.
Fuck.
El Munguia le va a ganar. Motherfuckers don't want the comeback. They don't want the comeback. Big Munguia out here, bro. Big Tongue Poe. About to get it popping.
Well, I thought they were gonna make Jamal Charlo versus Resendez, but what happened to him?
Ese tipo alcohólico, man. Ese tipo un alcohólico. His career is over, bro. Jamal That dude is no, y el otro también, Jermel. He was drunk on Saturday. They're alcoholics. Them dudes ain't gonna box again. Them dudes is not boxing. How many years now, Jermel been? Yeah, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. King 168. I mean 154. Yeah, bro. The fuck? Yeah, bro.
Yeah, he's been gone for a
Fucking
long ass time,
It's
bro.
been
dude.
fucking 4 years since you made 154, and it's been 3 years since you fought. Coming back. They never took my bet. Yeah. Okay, bro.
Fuck, for
Okay.
reals. That's why I'm like,
You-
man, this dude Jamel, like he should have been came back, but at a different way. Could have
Yo,
done
because
something
and
else, bro.
porque en 3 años, it's not like the PBC didn't do shows. They did shows in the they did do shows. And if it's about PBC cannot accommodate me, okay, leave. David Morrell did. David Morrell has not fought on a PBC show in over 2 years. 2 of his fights, no. He fought Benavidez, ¿verdad? He fought Benavidez. ¿Cuándo fue eso? 2024.
Yeah, that was a couple 2 years ago.
And then he fought no, he fought Kalajdzic before that, right? Yeah, he fought Kalajdzic before that. No. I'm trying to let me pull this shit up, man. I'm fucking old. Fucking old, bro.
He fought him before that.
Fucking old, bro. I'm getting fucking confused. Let me see.
Yeah, he fought him before that.
Let me see. Hold up. Okay. So he fought Kalajdzic before that. He fought Benavidez in February. Pero después de eso, Imam Katayev, Callum Smith, those are not PBC shows. Those are not PBC shows.
Oh yeah, no, those are
Imam Katayev was a turkey show. Callum Smith is a matchroom show. Que si tú te tienes que irte, if you gotta go to another side of the street, go to another side of the street, Jermel. David did. David Morrell did. Go get money. Pero él se quiere quedarse ahí. Él se quiere quedarse ahí, so quédate ahí, manín. Quédate ahí.
I need Fundora to go to the other side of the street too. Fuck. Go with Josh Kelly.
Más pendejo es Fundora. Más pendejo. That dude don't want to do nothing, bro. That dude, like he seems like a nice kid, and I like the family. I like that the dad, I'm a big fan of his sister, really. And it's dope that the dad raised 2 world champions. Like, it's actually really fucking cool. Pero Sebastian pendejo, man, que fucking Keith Thurman, bro. Deja la vaina, man. This fucking Keith Thurman, bro.
Yeah, that's
fucking
crazy.
Keith Thurman ain't been relevant since fucking 2016, bro. Fuck. That dude is not relevant, bro. Let alone the junior middleweight. That dude is not relevant.
You're gonna see. I mean, but I wouldn't be surprised if the next pay-per-view he's gonna be on is the him and Spence at Dallas Stadium or something.
No, because I don't think Spence is gonna fight him.
No,
remember, it was supposed to be Spence, bro, and Spence said, "I come back when I'm ready."
Oh yeah, that was a year ago though. No,
that was over. Yo, that was over a year. Because remember, when Sebastian won the belt from Tim. Yo, who was in the ring? It's Spence, baby.
Oh, it was. Yeah, damn. There you go. Yeah.
It's Spence, baby.
Yeah, he should have fought. Yeah, I forgot about that too. Yeah. See, damn, bro. Yeah, Spence.
So
yeah, bro. I mean, like I said, bro. Bud turned the big fish into Finding Nemo, bro. Motherfucker can't find the ring.
No, he fried that. He fried that motherfucking. He fried that salmon. That's what he did. He fried that shit, bro.
He fried that salmon.
I remember that day, bro. I woke up early that day, posted on Instagram. It's time for the fish fry, the big fish fry. That was one of the best days in sports, bro. That was one of the best days.
Like, oh my god, that was like one of my favorite fight scenes. Because I mean, damn, finally it happened. I was thinking it might not even happen. But there you go. I wanted to see who was winning. I was leaning Crawford.
It's one of my top 5 fave sports moments is the 96 Yankees winning the World Series, the Giants beating the Patriots 2 times at the Super Bowl, and Spence versus Crawford. Oh, that's one of my favorite sports moments, bro. Favorite sports moments. That was a beautiful week, Mr. T. You had, you know what, kick it off. And you
Yeah,
know
you
that was
know.
a bad omen. You know that was a bad omen. They're like, damn, yo, you know what beat the
You
fuck
said
out of Steph.
your favorite moments was the Yankees against what?
One of my favorite sports moments is the 1996 Yankees winning the Super Bowl. I mean the World Series. Fuck, I'm old. Said the Super Bowl. Fuck, I'm old. Remember 1996. Remember the Yankees hadn't won a World Series in a long time. 1996. They had old Wade Boggs, Charlie Hayes, Andy Pettitte. Fucking yeah, you remember that team? They won a World Series. That's one of my favorite sports moments. The 2 Super Bowls where the Giants beat the Patriots, beat Tom Brady, little Eli Manning, beat Tom Brady, and Spencer Crawford, man. Spencer Crawford. That was a beautiful moment, man. Beautiful shit. Now, on that note, I'm going to take my old man nap, and I will see y'all on the late night boxing talks later on.
All right, for sure, man. Peace.